Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom. Today with Katharina, with Suchada, and with Navasit. So what question do you have for me today?
My question is, why do people fall sick with cancer in these days more often than in the further past?
You know, when you go a few hundred years back, there was no cancer at all. Cancer is kind of an illness of our modern society. Now, to understand an illness, you have always to look what it does to you. So it is very easy, for example, also to understand your digestive system. We just talked about. When you cannot digest anything anymore, what life serves and what's going on out there, then your digestive system starts to strike. And that is the symptom. So every symptom gives you a very, very clear indication what is wrong with your body. That means what is not in harmony anymore between the physical and the spiritual body, or you can say your physical being and your soul. So what is cancer doing? There is a cell that separates itself from the whole. And that cell kind of tells, you know what, I don't give a shit anymore what I'm supposed to do. I just take, and grow and grow and grow and grow. It is like something that is stepping out of the, we can say, the divine order of our interconnection between being human in a physical body and being soul and spirit at the same time. So this is a cell that is, in a negative way, becomes kind of like a vampire. It feeds on you and it expands and it expands. And, you know, like everything, like all stupid people who do that too, is like, they don't understand that when the host dies, when they have grown too much, they die too. And when we look out there, we can see that the world has cancer. That's exactly what is happening. That is totally the reflection of what is happening in the world. So one of the things is also, when we go a little bit back, just again, think back maybe 50, 60, whatever years, people were having a very natural lifestyle. They were still eating a lot of fresh food. They had, especially also here in Thailand, I mean, you have gorgeous food and you have fresh food the whole year round. You are very lucky here. Yes. And also the whole Thai food in generally, when you really go back to the origin with the original curries, curry is a medicine. You have certain herbs and spices inside of this sauce that you put in the vegetable and everything else that is actually balancing your life, and a certain heat that is needed to destroy all kind of whatever bacteria, whatever is out there, to help you to keep healthy. But now even the fresh curries, you know, you buy them in package and you don't know really what's inside. And one of the bad things about that, a lot of stuff is full of MSG, monosodium glutamate. And then this together with salt, with what is it, sodium chloride, these two together already are not good for your health. And another thing is, like, you know, if you live in the countryside, it's still a little bit better, but in the city, the water, the tap water that you have is absolutely horrible. And I just got that message yesterday, very nice, and I will share the screen with you quickly and show you this picture of water. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Very good. So you see, you can see here all the toxins that are found in tap water. So we have all kind of pesticides, fungicides, herbicides, everything, you know, today here also Roundup, there is in the fields, in the rice fields everywhere. There is chlorine, there are pharmaceutical drug residues, there is heavy metal, perchlorate, and radioactive substances. There is all kind of fluoride, you know, also the fluoride in your toothpaste is pure poison. It does destroy a part of your brain that is connected to your willpower. So fluoride toothpaste is horrible, and especially pregnant mothers, they future mothers, they give them fluoride tablets. So the babies with all that stuff that are being born, they come already with a certain brain damage. All kind of dioxins and other chemicals. It doesn't matter, but see, one of the reasons that we are in a really difficult state in the moment is that practically everything we eat, even the water we drink, is poisoned.
But we do not in Thailand, in Bangkok, we do not drink tap water.
Yeah, you do not, but you shower with tap water.
Oh,
okay.
Oh,
and it through the skin.
yes, of course. And even if you don't drink it, I don't think that in the waters that you buy in the bottles, that everything is out. Because like, for example, fluoride and chlorine, this might be still in there. And another thing is that generally people don't drink enough and don't drink the water in the right way. I think we talked about that once before. Yes, exactly. That when you mix the water with the saliva, it can go into the system. If you just gulp it down, it just goes through you. And does not have much beneficial effect on your body. So generally, our bodies are full of toxins. And again, this is something that is also causing all kind of illness. And one of them is cancer. But cancer is generally a little bit at the end of the chain that we go through. Very often before we have cancer, you have some warning signals. Like some people, they have headache all the time, or they have whatever, you know, all kind of stuff that points towards the cancer that can develop out of it. You know, the brain is, when you have headache, for example, there are many, many different reasons for headache. It is like, you know, the little flower, like the red light blinking, that something's wrong with your body. And if you just go and take an over-the-counter tablet for the pain go away, the problem is not resolved. And this is what we generally have in medicine today. Now, medicine is not healing. You have to be very clear about that. Medicine has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with healing. We can use the word curing and healing. So we can cure something, like the medicine, you take something and it is for the moment is gone, like the headache, for example, but it's coming back.
Okay.
I give you one example that is very classical, at least in our circles who study that. When people have asthma, they receive a certain medicine that is generally given, and I don't give any names here. And then you go to doctor give you this medicine, your asthma goes away, and you're very happy. And about maybe half a year later, you suddenly have rashes on the skin. And you go back to the doctor, and to your very big surprise, the doctor gives you practically the same medicine. And of course, you are going to be successful. Your rashes are gone away. But half a year later, you have asthma again. So this is just going forth and back and forth and back. It's not healing. It's just juggling symptoms around, curing something for the moment, but it has no long-term effect. And that's exactly what actually the medical lobby wants. They want you as clients. They are not interested in healing, not at all. They're interested in money. Okay, so let's go back to the cancer. So the cancer cell starts to grow and grow out of proportion, start to become a real problem that life important organs cannot function properly anymore. And then what do they do again? They give you chemical medicine. There might be a relief in the moment, but very often, as you know, cancer even comes back if it's so-called healed in the moment, but it's not really healing again. What you have to do is, if you have cancer, you have to realize that you live a negative program.
Okay.
And here we have all the programs we've been talking about again, you know, like not being good enough, not having enough, and so on. So I need to get more and more and more because I never have enough. I'm never good enough. I'm never beautiful enough, whatever. And this is at the end of the chain is what creates the cancer.
So cancer is like the result of us ignoring to really work on healing. I mean, healing or connecting
To the divine self, to the soul. That's it. You can see in that way, in a way, how much you're imbalanced and how far you are away from your true life purpose. And as I said before, and I mentioned that again, every death is a suicide.
Yes.
If you make it fast or you kill yourself with an illness, it doesn't matter. Once the soul says, okay, it's enough, I want to depart out of this physical body, then you create something to get out. You need something to get out. And again, there is no judgment. It's an experience. And even look, people who had cancer, that was the most important, powerful teacher they've ever had. They heal themselves. Spontaneous remission is possible the moment you understand what is going on. And especially now with these injections that we have in the moment, there are information out there that people who are insiders who have worked in these companies who create this injection stuff, they said that in general there are 3 different kinds, and you can see at the batch number that they are not the same. And one certain, and I think from my understanding that this is the one that is given the most, people will develop cancer within 2 years, 2-3 years maximum. Because they give you this like also metal, heavy metal and other ingredients into your body. Now, your body is not healthy to begin with. Your psyche is not good because you get that inoculation because you're afraid. You're afraid of a certain illness. That is already a fear-based decision. And in addition, with the poison that is inside, that brings you down, 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 down. Because again, you know, if they want to go through with their plan, you know, what I mean, you know, they cannot give that stuff that people drop dead like flies, you know, that would be too obvious. And there are many now, they tell me, oh, I'm healthy, I'm fine, and blah, blah, blah. But just wait, you know. That's why you really have to go to a detox program. If you realize what's happening, that gives you at least a chance.
Okay.
And again, I talked about spontaneous remission. If people are starting to understand and raise their consciousness, reconnect with their self, they have a chance. Now, there are 2 different things we have to look at. We have our divine self that we've been talking many times about. This is like the connection to the soul, to the divine you that you really are, that is actually not anywhere outside. Kind of, you know, we said that the divine is within you. There is not any things you need to open, chakras or whatever, open and close. The divine core of light is within you. And I suspect very much they just discovered the fifth heart chamber, a very small little thing in the heart. And I believe that that might be the physical connection to the divine, because there must be a connection somehow, you know, it's like when you plug in an electro gadget, you need a connection to the electricity to make it work.
The fifth heart chamber is the new thing I never heard of.
I just read about it a couple weeks ago. I never heard of it either before, but it makes a lot of sense. And I have not studied it yet. I just mention it here.
Okay.
So
but it makes a lot of sense.
Maybe next topic.
Next topic.
No, you cannot. I don't know anything about it. I'm not that far. I cannot find information. And I just read a very short thing that science discovered the fifth heart chamber. And they must know already long time, because there was also mentioned in this article that doctors know that when they have open heart surgery, that they don't even go close to this little thing that is inside the heart.
Oh, okay.
So it must be out longer, but not, I don't know why it's leaked now, but everything is leaking now, you know? Okay. So now what I want to go to is like, we have like our spiritual body, our spiritual self, and then there is something else, which is our innate, or we call the smart body. Our innate is something that is with us through all the incarnations we've been here. That is coming, it's kind of, it's not the soul, but it is, I don't know if I can say it's part of the soul. And the innate is taking care of our body. And the innate is responsible for spontaneous remission. The innate is responsible for healing. So if you, like, of course, we need to change diet. We might have to take some herbs or whatever. That's fine. We still need something physical, but the physical is never healing. No matter if it's natural, like Yasamun Prai, you know, the natural healing, or if it's medicine, it doesn't matter. This is just for the body. But what we need to do to heal ourselves is to balance the connection between body and spirit. So the innate you can imagine as being something like a part of your spiritual self being that is responsible for your body. And you can start to talk to it. You can start to build up a relationship and ask, you can call it, you're my smart body, please tell me what I need today. Please give me a kind of an information, what kind of medicine or whatever I need to heal myself, or to understand my illness. The moment you understand, the moment it comes into consciousness, you can work with it. A symptom fallen into the body is always something that has fallen out of consciousness into the physical body. So, but when you imagine that the highest point is our divine self, our soul, like our life path, we have certain things coming up that we need to face, that we need to work with in our life, right? And from this point on, it first comes into our head, like you have an idea, or something is coming from the outside, whatever. We always create it in one or another way. But we might not like the topic, so we ignore it. We turn away and no. And we do that again and again and again. And once we don't pay attention a very long time, it kind of falls into the density because your negative neglection, I just use words now for a picture, like a metaphor, right? It becomes more heavy, 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 more dense until it's stuck in the body and manifests itself as a symptom. So the same with cancer. You have many different signs before, and at one point it is cancer because it has fallen so deep, more or less, that it falls into a lethal symptom, like a symptom that's going to kill you. So the only real way out is, again, bringing it back in the head, understand it, work with it, not neglect it. And of course, you can take physical remedies, but still the best remedies, which is also completely misunderstood, is homeopathy. Homeopathy is something that gives your body an information. And this information goes directly to the smart body. And the smart body understands it and analyzes it and help you to get out of it.
Okay, so when you said if we ignoring the topic that we need to work on and we keep ignoring, it's like we suppress the topic that we need to work on. We suppress the real connection that we need.
Yes.
And if you go to organs like liver cancer or like breast cancer, so each organs, so we can, is there any meaning or any interpretation if someone has a lung cancer, what is the topic they should
the communication.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Just imagine, what is the lung doing? Just look really, okay. The lung is, we breathe in, we breathe out, we breathe in, we have the primal polarity of breathing, where we said we cannot say breathing is good, breathing out is bad, even if one is positive, one is negative. And so everything what is connected with the lung is connected with communication. And then the liver, for example, what is the liver doing? The liver is taking care to look at what is poisonous, what is not, what is good for us, to separate that and work with this. So this is a person who cannot discriminate between what is good for me and what is not good for me. And on a physical level, it's very simple. A lot of junk food, for example, or too much, a lot of salt, or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is, but it is also the topic that the person on a spiritual, emotional, mental level does not understand what is good for me and what is not. For example, we talked about friends before, like friends who are bad for you, who have a bad influence for you, who drag you down, or people like, for example, if you have a more positive aura and you are more like a light, some people, they kind of hatch on you like vampires, and they always want to be around you because they need your light, because they don't have it themselves. So very often they deplete you from your whole energy. So there are many, many, many topics. So the thing is very easy to find out if you know the person.
So how about the stress? So the stress also causes cancer.
Yes. And again, every of these symptoms are leading to stress, all of them. Because if you have to work, first of all, you live on a negative program, fear-based. You're afraid not to have enough. So the job is like all these things. I don't have enough money. I need to work harder to get blah, blah, blah. And all that creates stress. Stress is always involved.
Okay.
And the more hectic your life is, the more stress you have, the more difficult it is. So this is why people, when they have cancer, they get to a doctor, get the diagnosis, say, for example, you have to live another half a year. Actually, deadlifts, you know, my teacher, I talked about him many times. He laughed at that question. He said, you know what? He guarantees you to have another 6 months. Be happy. Because you have no guarantee at all. You can be under a car tomorrow. But anyway, if somebody gets the diagnosis like that, they usually change their life very fast. And many of those who went out of the system and not submit to the medical protocol have survived and have healed their cancer. It is absolutely possible to heal. I mean, really heal cancer, to get completely rid of it. But every human being at every time in their life, you have some cancer cells in your body. This is like we have good and bad bacteria, but in general, when our health is more or less okay and more or less stable, it balances it out itself. So stress is definitely a factor, and especially always connected with the fear-based consciousness.
Okay.
You can let go of the stress in the moment you really reconnect with yourself. Like really the best is to do that when you go to bed and before you get up. In this maybe wake up a little earlier and have a kind of a personal talk. Your spirit, come closer, be with me today. Tell me what I need to know. Don't ask for specific things because you might not know what you need to know.
Yes.
We do not know what we need to know.
So if you ask for, please let me know what I need to know, your path is much more smooth.
Yes.
And again, it's not generally bad to be sick. It's a correction. It's a correction of the path. Like if you take on too much responsibility, or yeah, maybe it's a warning. Like when I had my stomach not good, it's like I cannot digest more, so stop, go back for a while, you know, and you know, things like that. But then you know, and you can bring that into your consciousness, and the symptom more or less can go away. Our body is slow compared to our spirit, to our emotion, to our thoughts. Our thoughts, emotions are much faster. So we have to give the body more time. And certain damage that you have scars, or like something was broken or whatever, I don't know, it might not heal. But it won't be a danger to your life. It might be a constant reminder of something that you have to take care of yourself, that you have to pay attention. And again, when somebody has cancer, when you look at cancer, you cannot separate cancer from the rest of illness. And I have a whole series on my Brighteon channel about the healing power of illness. 6 or 7 videos, but they're all with translation into Thai. Maybe I have to do that in English only because it's a bit difficult. It's very long translation in between.
Yes.
So everything is interconnected. And cancer is very often at the end of the chain. You know, at the end of and go forth long. Okay, there's something else coming to mind. The question, for example, there was a mother dying away very fast from, I don't remember, I think it was breast or uterus cancer, something like that. And she had 3 or 4 children. She was a very nice person, not aggressive, not anything, but she was kind of giving up her whole life for the family and did not take care of herself. Another way to get cancer is like this kind of victim position. You know, her children, they kind of messed up her whole life with her husband. So the whole sexual relationship didn't work right anymore. He got angry, she got stressed, the kids had to get up, whatever. And there was like, you can see sometimes people who have cancer, they are kind of mean, not nice, they are aggressive. But it can also be exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, when you create an illness, both opposites, it doesn't matter, too much or not enough, can lead to the same symptom.
And how come the nice person?
Nicer.
Yeah, can.
Yeah, because she's in a victim position and then she's just started to try to please everybody, but could not please everybody because it doesn't work. You have to learn to take care of yourself first.
Not to be the pleaser.
This is like in the airplane when they say put the oxygen mask first before you have to help others. Sorry, but that's the point. If you faint, the rest, they will faint too. But if you want to help, you need to stand up first before the others. Or when there is somebody drowning in the high wave, it doesn't matter. You don't jump into the high wave and drown with the other person. If you have a chance, you find something to help them. But it doesn't make sense to jump in there too and die with them.
But as for the mother, sometimes they will say, is their, you know, kind of duty to taking care of others before themselves.
Yes, I know that is part of the paradigm that is wrong.
Okay.
You know, maybe like this woman, she shouldn't have had so many, I think there were 4 or 5 children. She was completely overstressed with that many. She did not take care and just kind of, you know, okay, get pregnant again. You have to take responsibility for your own life first. 2 children would have been enough.
Yeah.
And you see that, you know, this is also in certain societies, when like people have a lot of children, there are some groups, ethnic groups, who have a lot of children. And if you have a lifestyle like 200 years ago and you have a farm or you have animals, whatever, and the mother is at home and making the household, cooking, baking, whatever is needed, it's a different story. But today, with this kind of life we have, it's very difficult. And you have to be very careful with yourself if you can handle that or not. It is always something when it comes to cancer, as I said, at the last point of the chain of little illness first, little symptoms first, getting more and more and worse and worse. And there's always a warning. You might be always tired or tired of life. And do I really have to get up this morning? You know, all that kind of stuff. This is always a sign that you're not aligned.
Okay.
You know, these are just the little things that start first. Like people who get up in the morning because, oh, wow, another day, I'm happy to go and do this and do that. They have no way to get sick because their positivity will balance them completely. And have you seen people like that lately? I have not either. including me.
Oh no.
I'm not getting, no, it's not every day, but I have these days, oh my God, I really don't want to get up today. You know, it's kind of when you look into the world and today, if you're confronted what is happening, and if you see through it, if you see the agenda behind it, it's very depressing, and it's kind of a constant little fight to keep up. But if you are connected with your divine self, you see the reason. And I have also posted some videos about this shift and what is happening and why it is happening. Because how otherwise would the world wake up? What does it need to wake up the masses? And you know yourself, this mass media is like mass hypnosis.
Okay. Maybe when we see the media too much, it makes us more stressed.
Well, it is only one way, turn it off. And go into alternative medias. Like I have done that many years ago already. When I was a young woman, I hated the media. I don't know why, but I knew inside, even at my brain didn't know. And my parents were very angry at me because they had to call me up. You have to go to register to kids for school tomorrow or whatever. But did you see that? I said, no. Oh, you didn't read the paper again? I said, no, I didn't. You don't get very good information. Usually it's just fighting. Whatever is coming out, discussions and fighting and righteousness and, you know, stuff like that. We don't need that. We need to learn to listen to our needs. And not just the need of the body, but the needs of our soul.
I see.
And cancer is a very typical sign of our time, that people are completely not aligned anymore with the higher self, with the divine.
Yeah. I just want to come up one question. When you said that we have to know our needs, right? And follow our needs. But sometimes, if our needs is like affect others, it means that I am like a dogmatism with myself. I mean, I attach myself too much with my own needs.
No, look, this is also something that they say to you, because when you have needs and you first look for your own needs, they say you're an egoist. And they say, yeah, but you have to look for this first. But again, you have to put that mask first, because you put the mask on others. I mean, you know, when you look at business today, they ask a lot of you, and you have to. I mean, I was completely shocked when I was in Hong Kong, when I saw that people work every day till 7, 8 o'clock. I said, why the hell? You should be off your work at 5 or 6. I said, yes, I should. I said, why don't you just go? I said, well, there are 10 people behind me who want my job. If I want to keep my job, I have to work overtime every day. And, you know, the boss is kind of, you know, 2 hours not paid. And this is exactly what our society is. But it is what we made it, because we did not take care of ourselves, and we let others take over and rule us. That is the fear-based that fear-based energy, that, oh my God, if, you know, kind of, oh no, I stand up. I have many people who've been in the workshops who afterwards quit their job and started something by themselves, or, you know, there always is a niche somewhere what you can do. If you are aligned to yourself, you are like a beacon, like a lighthouse. Like, just give you a very simple sample, like open your own coffee shop. You have the best coffee because the ambiance, the atmosphere in your coffee shop is so good that you attract people.
Yes.
If you put in all the artistic and your personal effort to really make it looking beautiful, you will attract people, and you will have a good living.
Yeah. I see.
So don't worry about the others. Your needs are coming first. And I don't talk about needy persons all the time. Oh, you have to give me this, blah, blah, blah. No, you have to get up yourself. We have a saying in the like something like help yourself, then God will help you.
Yeah.
Not the opposite. And this is, see, this again, talking about all religion. It's all religion the same. Praying.
Awesome.
Praying is the same like begging. It's not working. And you know it, you know. People are on their knees. They pray to a corpse on a cross. This is absolutely ridiculous. That's not what Jesus ever wanted. The Christ consciousness is light, is love, is joy. But those people who focus on this cross all the time, they focus on death. So that's no wonder that they are attracted.
Okay.
And whatever it is, whatever every illness you have, every symptom you have can end up in cancer, depending on the topic that you refuse to look at.
I see.
So when they realize that they have cancer, stage 1, 2, 3, 4, as you know, that the modern medicine, put it.
Yes.
Does it mean that it's too late? Because you said
no, it's not. It's not. There are people you can read about, people who were already dead and came back. Spontaneous remission and healing is possible at any stage. But if you succumb to fear, dive into desperation, into guilt, into fear, I should, then of course that drags you down. But once you have this, like, see, this is why the near-death experiences are for many people so important. Or this can happen in a meditation. If you have certain ways to meditate, or some people to guide you to see God. I just use a word. I don't like God, the word God very much. To see the divine, to see that light, that, and feel that joy, that absolutely all-encompassing love. That will flush your body with a certain light, that a spontaneous remission or healing is possible. But definitely not with chemotherapy. And the thing is, again, you don't really die. You just leave the body, move beyond in another dimension where we cannot see you. And then you have time to decide and what you want to do when you want to come back, and if you want to come back here or not. That's all those stories. And some people, they are really say, no, even if I maybe had the chance to heal myself, I don't want to, I want to get out here. I want to leave that body behind, and I want to start again. And there's nothing bad about it. You'll probably also know that there were civilizations when death was celebrated as like graduation from that life. But unfortunately, for most people, it's not a graduation anymore today. The way they die also show the consciousness level they are at. And if people die like this, then you see the fear energy and you see the low consciousness level, and they will come back in another similar consciousness 3D timeline with similar problems.
So it means that we have to expand our consciousness, right?
Yeah, expand, rise, I think would be a better word. Move up, rise your consciousness level. Understanding is also very important, that you understand what it is about. then you can do something with it. That's what we humans still need. At one point we want, but here we still need that. See, that was not exactly what you expected, right?
Oh, that's over expectation. More than my expectation.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's hope, I think it's good to learn what you share with us today. Because I have people around with cancer. Some die within like 6 months.
Yeah.
And some just panic and okay, they will change, they have to change their lifestyle. Yeah,
but just only physical lifestyle change is not enough. But very often it leads to something else. But see, unfortunately, again, here we have when you reach out for help into the religious sector, there is still the praying and the hoping. Hope is the opposite of doubt. If you hope, you're not getting anywhere because you doubt at the same time.
Oh. So it means that the hope means that you just hope, not.
Yeah, just hope. I mean, I hope I'm gonna be fine. I hope it's not helping. You can as well say, I doubt I'm gonna be fine. It's the same.
Oh.
You have to know.
Okay.
And this is only if you're really connected with that divine within, then you know that you don't die.
I see.
And then you can make that's an informed consent. Then you can make a decision. Okay, I want to keep that body, so I'm going to do something about it. Or, okay, now I think I want to change the body, and that's fine too. Nobody is going to judge your decision.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we got it, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much for this question. That was a very good one.
Yes.
And thank you everybody who is listening. Please like and share our videos. I'm not good at this commercial stuff. It's not like Kay, who is really good at So anyway, if somebody has an affinity for this topic, they will find it.
Yes.
Okay, so see you next week. Have a good week, and everybody.
Thank you so much.